Hello, YouTube. This is Ryan, aka the Habitual Line Stepper, back at you with another video. I hope you are at peace. If you're not at peace, I hope you're actively, relentlessly, and aggressively pursuing your peace. Peace over everything. Peace over everything. I wanted to talk about standing 10 toes down in who you are, supporting yourself, standing up for yourself, loving yourself, being there for yourself. You may have friends and family that are around you. I am a firm, I'm a firm proponent of being there for yourself, showing up for you, because you may think that your friends and family are going to be there when things get rough, and not, don't get me wrong, some of them will, but majority of people are not equipped to handle what you're dealing with. That's just the reality. They may have good intentions, but that does nothing for you when you need someone to act. You have to show up for you. You have to put yourself in the best situation possible just in case something bad happens. You have to build yourself up so you can withstand those times that are not going to be the best. Because believe me, they are coming. If you live long enough, if you're fortunate enough to get these gray beards and, the things that come with age and time, if you're fortunate enough to grow old, you know for certain things are going to happen no matter what. Good things are great, but bad things are certain. Things are going to happen. It's called life, and we all have to deal with it. The great motivational speaker Les Brown, he had that in one of his speeches, and I never will forget that. You have to deal with it. You have to understand that your well-being is 100% your responsibility. It is. Don't push that off on somebody else and expect other people to be there. It's great if you do have friends that show up for you. I have a small circle of friends that I rely on. They're battle tested. I know they care about me. However, that they may not be in the place where I need them at the time in order to help me. The will is there, but the ability may not be. I cannot rely on anyone outside of myself to make sure that I'm 100% great. Okay? I have to put that in play. I don't know what's going to happen to me down the road, but I do know that I'm going to do everything I can do now to shield me from that. And also good opportunities. The same thing goes for that. Make yourself, you're responsible for creating your opportunities and ceasing those opportunities. So what I'm saying to you is, don't expect anybody to do more for you than what you're willing to do for yourself. Some people may think, okay, well, this person's self-absorbed because they're always thinking of me, me, me. In my previous videos, I told you, you have to keep yourself at 100%. Some people may look at that as selfish. I look at it as being smart. You have to be at 100% all the time because you cannot help anybody else if you are not at your best. You can't. What good are you if you are not at your best and someone else needs your help? You can't really help them a lot. That's why I say build yourself up. Make sure that you are always at 100%. Practice self-care. Practice self-love. Practice protecting your mental health. Do the things that you know you need to do. I believe in taking care of yourself at all times. protecting yourself physically, financially, emotionally, socially. You have to do these things. Financially, I don't know if I mentioned that, but in my previous videos, money helps in a lot of situations. You are responsible for that. You take care of that. You guard that. You guard your mental health. You don't allow certain pressures to break you. When it comes to, like I said, your well-being, you have to be able to look and see and anticipate things that are coming. And don't have this mindset, well, nothing will ever happen to you. Just because you're good now and you're in a good spot now and you think, okay, well, it's always going to be like this. Trust me, it's not going to always be like this. You are going to have times that's going to be challenging in your life because that is what life is. Life is a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong, but life is what you make it. You're going to have good, you're going to have bad in this life. But if you have the ability to look at your current situation and see the things that are happening around you, because things are changing every day. Every day. And you have to be able to see what's going on around you and see how that's going to apply to you. And then react accordingly. Get ahead of things. Don't wait for things to become a big issue. If you are offended by something, act on it. Don't allow it to fester and boil. One thing I learned in my youth, you have to check people. Because you could be a kind-hearted person who've never done anything to anybody. Don't even intend to do anything to anybody. And people will look at that as a weakness and try to prey on you. I had to learn to check people who thought I was food. In other words, somebody who they think they could prey on. Because I wasn't the kind of person, and I'm not the kind of person who's going to be quick to anger or be a troublemaker or try to intimidate people. I really like to live my life as peaceful as possible. I respect people, and I expect respect in return. But I learned in my youth that a lot of people don't understand subtlety. A lot of people don't understand, grace. So every now and then, what's Kendrick Lamar say? You got to pop out and show. Every now and then, you got to pop out and show. Because people will test you in ways that you did not expect from people who you did not expect. And you have to have this self-care, this self-respect, good self-esteem, not to allow people to tread on you. You have to develop that. You have to build that respect for yourself where you're not going to allow people or events to take you down and put you in a bad spot. You got to have some fight in you. And sometimes that's uncomfortable because when you are having to fight back, so to speak, that means you're gonna hurt some feelings. You're going to hurt some feelings. And you have to be okay with that. Because my mindset is if I'm a peaceful person, which I am, and you come to me with ill intent, you're bold enough to do that. I'm bold enough to put you in your place. I'm bold enough to let you know what it really is. And those people, like I said, those people like to prey on people. And oftentimes they they scope that person out, and they see that, they think they know that person, and because they perceive that person as weak, just because they're not, just because they're to themselves or they're quiet, you know, they don't cause any trouble. They perceive that as weak, and really that's most likely the strongest person, because they don't feel like they have to have this persona or this image of being, loud, obnoxious, have to suck the air out the room. They're just lifing. They're just walking through this life. And so you have to be bold enough when you are, preyed upon, to react and let them know this is not how it's going to be. And sometimes it's not necessarily arguing. It's not necessarily having to, get out of character. The best way you can do is be able to methodically, meticulously, and articulately dissect somebody. Now, every now and then, it might have to get physical. Sometimes you get to take it there. You try not to. But I'm saying, mentally, you could be a cerebral assassin and take someone down. Just by using your mind and your intellect and your verbal skills. Be wise in your approach. But getting back to the main vein of this, you have to rely on you. Put things in a proper scenario or proper places for you to be successful, and for you to weather those times that are not going to be so great. That means everything. That means if you have people in your life who are not good for you, I don't care who it is, you have to be able to push those people to the side and walk away from them. Family, friends, strangers, whatever it is. You have to be able to put them aside, because you have to anticipate down the road, this person's not good for me. Their actions, are not going to be, it tells me that they're not going to be good for me. You have to be able to look at that. So you down the road, you don't have to deal with it. You're handling it now. You're getting out the way. You're putting controls in place where these people are not going to be part of your life, or these types of people who are negative are not going to be part of your life. You're already weeding that out, so you don't have to deal with that now or down the road. You can walk away from it. Well, they'll give me. We're family. Let me tell you something. Respect is respect. And if you're being disrespected by anybody, family or whatever, you should walk away. Period. That's not even a question. Now, again, you have to be able to see things financially. You may be in a spot right now where you're good. Look down the road. See the things that's happening in the world. See what's happening in finances. See what's going on in the culture. See what's going on in politics. See how these things affect you. See what's going on in the job. See what's going on in your personal economy. Anticipate. Because you're responsible for your financial situation. I don't care what anyone has to say about it. Bad things happen. When I was trying to make it, when I was young and I had nothing, coming into this world, trying to earn as an adult, as a young adult at that, not knowing much, it was a struggle. But it was all on me. I had to figure it out. I had to I made some bad decisions that I had to go back and fix financially, career-wise. I had to fix some things. I had to change my mindset, because there's a lot of things I did not know. There was a lot of things I didn't know. And don't feel bad about it, because as a young person, you're not supposed to know. I think I'll make that my next video. But as a young person, there's things you shouldn't know, because you haven't experienced anything yet. You think you got it figured out, but until you've actually experienced life, You don't know anything. You have to experience life. You're going to have failures in this life, but you should learn from those failures. You should be strong as you progress through this life. You should get stronger and stronger and stronger. Because this life is not for the weak. It's not. It's not for the weak, because there is no one who's going to be able to take care of you better than you. There's no one who's going to care about your circumstances and where you're at, the good and the bad, more than you. No one's going to cheer harder for you than you, and no one's going to grieve harder for you than you. You want to put yourself in the best situation, so you have to look around you. You have to look at the people around you, as well as what's happening in that is the world. You have to look at those things and anticipate to the best of your ability those things and how they're going to affect you, and then act before they become an issue. A lot of people wind up in situations because they allow these things to happen, and they're right in front of their face, and they know these things are there, but they're hoping, they're wishing that it just, I hope it doesn't affect me. No, if you know that there's something coming down, you need to adjust, because when it's on you and it's affecting you in a negative way, that's a whole different battle, and no one's going to be there to help you fight that off. You may have, you may have friends, you may have family who are around you, but they're dealing with their own stuff too. Don't think that you're the center of somebody else's world, because you're not. They have their own issues, their own thing that they're dealing with. Like I said, the heart might be there, the will and the desire might be there to help you, but their ability may not be there. Because again, we're all dealing with our own stuff. We're all dealing with our own issues. We're all trying to navigate successfully through this life, and we're dealing with our own failures and our own struggles. So that's why I say it's 100% on you to put yourself in the best situation possible. And if you're at 100%, you can help your friends. You can help your family members who deserve it. You can help those people who you feel genuinely deserve it, the strangers and everybody. You can help those people. But you have to make sure you put yourself in the best situation possible for you. Don't look at somebody else's problem and start trying to solve their issues and, oh yeah, well, you should do this, and your house is not in order. Get your stuff straight. Because if you got your stuff straight, people will look at you as an example. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything to people. The mere fact that they are watching you and seeing how you move is enough motivation and enough instruction for them. So you don't have to go. So again, get your house in order first. When I was dusty and I didn't have anything in the beginning, and I was trying to navigate through this life, I was really quiet when it came to giving advice to somebody along the lines of the things that I hadn't fixed yet. I don't know, but I learned. And when I learned and where I was weak at, and I started working on those things, because I knew in my mind I wanted to have a better life. I wanted to have a better future for me. I wanted to make sure that I was in the best situation possible for me, because I got tired of stressing and worrying. When I worked on all that and got myself straight, I don't give unsolicited advice, but when friends ask me, strangers ask me something or ask some advice in some regard, I'm able to give it with 100% certainty that I'm trying to put you in the best situation possible based on my experiences and what I have accomplished and overcame. I have 100%. I feel you. I know where you're coming from. This is how I got through it. You are your responsibility. 100%. We all come from different backgrounds. You may have been working since you were 12. Some of us, not me, but some of us may have a silver spoon in our mouth. We may have came from a family with lots of money. It's still your responsibility. Because you don't know what's going to happen with that money. You may one day find you on your complete own because financially your family may be ruined. Now you got to make a living in this world. And for those people who grew up with nothing, you already know it's on you because life has told you, ain't no, nobody has my back. I love my mom, I love my dad, but they don't have nothing. They can't, best they need to do is give me love and some support. But it's on me at the end of the day. I'm gonna say this last thing. You will have adults, older adults, who will whine and cry about no one ever gave them nothing or blaming people for their current situation. Never taking accountability for what they did to put them in a situation. The things that they would not give up and walk away from, the people that they chose to keep in their circle who weren't good for them, the bad decisions that they repeatedly made because they're trying to impress people who don't give a damn about them, but they're basically making decisions after decision after decision that's to their detriment, and they're blaming everybody except themselves. Again, some of us have been in situations that have been horrible situations that were beyond our control. As far as life, things happen. But at the end of the day, it still holds true. You still got to get up. You still got to keep pressing because it is on you. It's on you. It sucks. Some things you didn't ask to happen to you. You didn't ask for these certain events to take place. This came out of nowhere. It was tragic. It's still on you. It's called life. Things are going to things going to happen to you. It's on you. You still have to be the one to clean it up, to fix it, to overcome it. Peace over everything. That's my motto. Peace is the priority. If you guys got anything from this message, please subscribe, comment, share, like. Let me know how you guys receive this information. I love the feedback. Even though I'm an older person now, I'm still open to new ideas and new concepts and all these things. I don't claim to know it all. I'm just another person walking through life. I appreciate you guys. Peace over everything. See you in the next video. Let's get it.